Alright, no
Should
more
be
fucking around
fine.
with seats.
Alright, can we get on with the coat? Fuck.
Yeah, alright, well, fucking waiting for cunts to stop throwing chairs and fucking giving
Alright,
cunts large
fucking
cuts in the chest.
discipline them then. Fuck!
Fucking idiots.
Alright, so I'd appreciate if a degree of seriousness was given from here on out.
Seriously.
Seriousness.
Shut up!
Given from here on out.
Seriosity.
Seriosity. So what this is like, this little campaign that I've made is like pretty much loosely based off actual world events. And yeah, so here we go.
Mm-hmm.
So alright everybody, welcome to
Shut up,
Operation
in the corner, you
Buckthorn.
dickhead.
The British intervention in Libya. We are a team of special boat service operators who have been sent to Libya on behalf of the British Foreign Office to support the Secret Intelligence Service, aka MI6, in their espionage and field operations in the failed state of Libya. So we'll just go over the briefing. So our mission here during this deployment is going to be to disrupt human trafficking pathways from sub-Saharan Africa towards Europe, increase political stability within the region via means of intelligence gathering, counter leadership operations against identified Islamic State and Haftar allied militias. I'll get to Haftar in a second. Assist in training of local national forces to uphold security within the region once we do leave, and we're going to also be providing a quick reaction force capability to escort and protect SIS and British government officials within the region, both on Malden and the Libyan mainland. So the coalition, few spelling errors on this, but that's all right, just ignore that. The coalition that we're here with, the UK contingent, is comprised of C Squadron and X Squadron of the Special Boat Service. Joining that will be the 268 Signal Squadron, which are going to be attached to the Special Boat Service. And then we've also got the Special Forces Support Group dudes. We've also got 485 Naval Air Squadron, 651 Squadron Army Air Corps are going to be flying us to our objectives, both on Malden and the mainland. And we're also going to be conducting our operations with US support from the 12th Airlift Flight and the 1st Air Reconnaissance Squadron. They're going to be providing the aerial reconnaissance pictures. And we'll also be doing some stuff, some joint ops with the CIA, who are working with the fucking Delta Force on ground in Libya. So just a quick little breakdown.
I like how reconnaissance is spelled twice, both wrong, and they're both spelled differently.
Correct. Spell check. Yeah. So the area of operations on Malden will be basically Camp Glastonbury, where we're at right now, is going to be the main sort of operating base. We're going to operate out of this. All our missions will sort of come out of here. We've got the Coalition Air Base just to our southeast, where we're going to be doing most of our flying from. Malden is a known stopover location for people smugglers and Islamic State recruiters. Malden's just off the sort of northwestern tip of Libya, sort of as you're heading towards Tunisia. Politically, Malden is part of Libya. However, it has French heritage. Most of the population speaks Arabic or French. British and NATO diplomats and coalition air support are all stationed here on Malden, and the operational security level is on high alert because Islamic State attacks have occurred on the coalition forces on Malden, and we can't be too sure of the local security forces because they may be corrupt. So when you're on base, just keep your fucking pistols with you, at least 2 mags, and all your medical equipment at all times, because it could potentially come under attack. The area of operations on the Libyan mainland, we're mainly going to be focused on the Anazay region of central Libya. The majority of our JPEL targets are going to be located within the region. I'll get to the JPEL list in a second. As you can see from the map, the Islamic State controlled. The Islamic State claim that they control most of the southern portion of Anazay, which is mainly just desert sort of region, with a few oil reserves which they've overthrown. However, the Haftar forces have denied this. The rich oil and natural resources line the central region of Anazay, and Haftar forces have gained control of several oil fields throughout that central region, putting the ISIL forces, the Islamic State, on the retreat. And the Wagner Group, which I'll get to in a minute, have established an FOB near an oil storage facility, and they've believed to have over 100 troops deployed, all with accompanying mechanized anti-air. It's basically a mini army that they've deployed up there. To the north, it's all independent tribal factions and other factions, both pro-Western democracy and also pro-Haftar, so could get a bit dicey out there. I'll get to the factions here now and just sort of explain a bit more about each sort of faction. There's a map on the left there which sort of shows an accurate, up-to-date sort of area of territory and control of all different factions within Libya. And we're going to be operating in that central region, which is mostly under Islamic State control. So the GNA, in other words, the Government of National Accord, are the internationally UN recognised government. They've got support of most of the Libyan Defence Force, and they're also NATO-backed. So we're going to be basically supporting those guys, and the SIS are going to be trying to basically instate the GNA's sort of influence through political motivation and intelligence. The Libyan National Army, also known as the Haftar forces, are loyal to the Libyan House of Representatives. They consist mainly of different militias and mercenary groups, and they're currently headed by Commander Haftar, which I'll get to in a minute, who is openly backed by Russia, Egypt, Syria, and the Sudanese RFS. The Wagner Group is a Russian-based PMC with links to the Kremlin. There have been links from Wagner to the Russian GRU, and they've currently got about 2,000 mercenaries deployed Libya-wide, and they're currently supporting Haftar's offensive throughout Libya. And then down the bottom there, we've obviously got the Islamic State in Iraq and the Levant, which covers Libya as well. They're internationally recognised terrorist organisation. They've currently taken advantage of the civil war and the failed state of Libya to establish a foothold. They are a common enemy of all the other factions that have been listed, including obviously the West. We'll get to the JPELs now. These are going to be our people of interest, people that we're going to be wanting to go after, people that we're obviously of a priority to either kill or capture. And most of these are going to be UK citizens that the Foreign Office has basically given us a mandate to either kill or capture all of these UK citizens before they come back to the UK. So the first one is Ngozi Hassim Zainab, which is his Arabic name. He's a Nigerian-born, obtained UK citizenship in 2003, which is still current. The Foreign Office is seeking to cancel that citizenship. He left the UK in 2011 to fight for Boko Haram in his homeland of Nigeria. So he's battle-hardened and not afraid of martyrdom. So obviously he'll fucking blow himself up if it means he's dying for Allah and the Caliphate. He's defected from Boko Haram and he's popped up in Libya in Islamic State propaganda. So we believe he is now fighting for the Islamic State. He's a priority target. The Foreign Secretary of the UK is seeking to deny him travel back to the UK. That's obviously why they want to cancel his citizenship. He's known to influence younger Muslims to take up arms against the West in online propaganda. So if we see him out there, if we're able to gather some intelligence on him, on his whereabouts, we'll put out a hit on him. JPAL 2 is going to be Omar al-Salim. He's an Islamic State recruiter, believed to have close ties to Abu Nabil, which is the top Islamic State leader in Libya. He was captured by the CIA in 2013 and taken to Guantanamo and questioned over links to Al-Qaeda. However, he was released in the following year during a prisoner swap. He speaks English and Arabic and is known to have good psychological stamina through his, his questioning at Guantanamo. So he can withstand the interrogation techniques. He's believed to be hiding somewhere in Libya. Numerous phone taps have pinged his possible locations. So he's going to be trying to disrupt the chain of command, disrupt the recruiting through our operations. JPAL 3 is going to be Amar Degays, and he's a UK national. He's recently just left for Syria last year. He's an Islamic State sympathiser. We found this out through his social media posting, through his phone calls, all that. He's currently believed to be coordinating a small sleeper cell of Islamic State fighters on Malden. He speaks English and Arabic. He's known for his online propaganda, hate speech directed at the UK government. He's wanted by Interpol on terrorism and incitement charges. And SIS are seeking his extraditionary rendition. So it's basically we're going to fucking abduct him and basically put him in prison on those charges for Interpol. That photo was taken a few weeks ago at a phone booth somewhere on Malden. So he's obviously trying to make contact with the rest of the Islamic State, we believe.
Icon.
JPAL number 4 is going to be Alexander Kuznetsov. He's the current field commander of the Wagner Group in Libya. He's responsible for coordinating the Libyan National Army's offensive on the GNA-held capital of Tripoli. He's believed to be left injured from a coalition airstrike from the US guys a few weeks ago. And we know this because we found his abandoned belongings in the rubble of a town south of Tripoli. He's accused of war crimes by Amnesty International that the Wagner Group and the Kremlin deny. And he's a potential human intelligence vacuum, so SIS want to make contact with him and talk about potential deals. Not really sure what they're interested in him for, but I assume it's got something to do with some deals. JPAL number 5 is going to be Paul Cahill. He's pictured in the right of the picture there. Obviously the white dude. He's a UK-born citizen. We're not sure if he goes by his English name. We believe he's picked up a Middle Eastern name. He was working as an international financer in the Middle East. He's got investment portfolios in the UAE. Also, he's in Syrian oil. He's recently begun funding Haftar's political campaign. So he's believed to be exchanging political funds for oil rights in Libya. SIS have been following his movements, tracking his bank account, all of that. They've spotted a meeting with him and an unidentified male who's believed to be an Islamic State official of some kind. So it's obviously raising some questions of his allegiance. Paul Cahill may be using an Islamic name to cover his identity. His current whereabouts are unknown. However, tapped phone communications may have identified potential meeting points within the Anazay region. So SIS want to make contact with him and investigate his Islamic State affiliation. So most likely going to be wanting to capture him. And finally, the last JPAL is Khalifa Haftar. This isn't really a killer capture. This is more so just a sort of a brief overview of who we're going up against here. So he's currently the commander of the Tobruk-based Libyan National Army. He's been described as Libya's most potent warlord. And he's responsible for the forces that overthrew Gaddafi in 2011. He was previously backed by the US in that US-led overthrow of Gaddafi. However, he's currently waging a war against the GNC or the GNA, however you want to say them, based in Tripoli, with the help of Russian mercenaries from the Wagner Group. This is now known as the Second Libyan Civil War. He's an anti-Islamist, grew up in Libya, went on to study political science in the USSR, was once an ally of the United States, helping the CIA bring down Gaddafi, as I said. He's fought against pretty much nearly every single militant faction in Libya's modern history. He speaks English, Russian, French, and Arabic. So yeah, he's sort of a key player in all of this. Not sure if we're going to be going after him, but that's just sort of a bit of background information. That sort of brings it to the end of the presentation. If anybody's got any questions, please feel free. Is everyone still awake?
Is each mission in this campaign different JPL?
Pretty much. And it's going to sort of follow on, like consequences will follow on. So if someone fucks up in, I don't know, basically like each mission will sort of follow on from the last in a way. So if we don't capture a JPL, or if we do, it'll lead to further intel on the next mission. Sort of things will adapt based on what's happened in the previous mission. If we fucking blow up a helicopter in one mission, that helicopter won't be there in the next, sort of thing. Like,
yep.
Yeah.